And now to the big international story that we've been tracking, the most important global story of the day, Sabse, the coup in Myanmar. Myanmar's de facto leader Aung San Suu Kyi is in detention in Naypyidaw for almost a day now. The military has declared a state of emergency. It has taken control of the country for a year. Before we analyze this big global development, let's take a look at the story so far.
The military has seized power in Myanmar. Civilian leader and state councillor Aung San Suu Kyi has been detained. Signs of a coup were clear last week.
We are not saying the Myanmar army will take power, but we are also not saying that it will not.
Detentions began before dawn. Mobile signals were down. Numbers in Naypyidaw were unreachable, as were those to Yangon. Soon the state TV went off air. The only message being beamed was from the military-owned television.
The
authority of the nation's lawmaking, governance and jurisdiction is handed over to the Commander-in-Chief.
This is Yangon, Myanmar's commercial hub and its former capital. Troops here have seized the city hall. Banks are closed, and the supporters of the military are cruising around with flags. The day was supposed to mark the start of a newly elected parliament. These tanks are now crushing every scope of democracy. A coup d'etat can never be justified. Myanmar's military is making a half-hearted attempt. It is citing alleged poll irregularities. In November 2020, Myanmar held its second democratic election in history. Suu Kyi-led NLD swept the polls, winning over 80% of the votes. The military-backed Union Solidarity and Development Party settled for just 33 of 476 seats. The military has been crying foul ever since. It claims to have uncovered 10 million instances of voter fraud. There's no proof, and the military needs none to nullify the election. Myanmar's a fragile democracy. It was meant to be that way. The country's constitution was crafted by the military in 2008. The objective was never to uphold democracy, but to safeguard military supremacy. Myanmar came out of a 49-year-old military rule in 2011. It has seen 2 coups before. All the 3 branches of democracy have once again come under the control of the army. Sitting at the helm is Army Chief Min Aung Hlaing, a man who made headlines for spearheading the Rohingya genocide and for being slapped with US sanctions. His men have promised balance and fairness in Myanmar.
Our country is just a bird learning to fly. Now the army broke our wings.
Alarm bells have gone off in the world's leading democracies.
Well, these are rather disturbing developments.
From Australia to India, United States, Britain and Japan. New Delhi said the rule of law and democratic process must be upheld. Many countries have called for the release of Myanmar's leaders. But one country did not have much to complain about.
China is a friendly neighbor of Myanmar. We hope that all sides in Myanmar can properly manage their differences.
This day is going down in history books. The 1st of February 2021, the day democracy was detained in Myanmar. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.